comment that I get most whenever I do Thanksgiving is, oh my god, it's exactly like the Thanksgiving in Friends. Hey everyone, I'm Kathryn, and today we're talking about Thanksgiving, the best holiday around, and it's awesome and it's epic, unless you live in Europe, and then it's like, oh, it's such a pain, such a pain. Yes, I am one of those Americans that I try and do a Thanksgiving-ish dinner every single year. Obviously, I don't do it on Thursday because 1, we don't get vacation, because 2, they don't celebrate it, and 3, sometimes it's really difficult to do Thanksgiving. You know, probably the most difficult part is that there isn't this constant barrage of advertisements reminding me that, hey, it's November, it's Thanksgiving, what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? So I have to remember it all by myself, and half the time I forget until the week of, and it's like, oh yeah, it's Thanksgiving, I should probably do something. And you can't wait till the last week to start planning Thanksgiving when you live in Europe, because it just doesn't work. They don't have turkeys in November. You can go out and look, but what's most likely going to happen is you're going to have people give you this look and then ask, you want a turkey in November? Yeah, so turkeys are eaten during Christmas in Europe because they're weird. Yes, I'm going to be biased that way because turkeys are exclusively for November. Anyway, since turkeys are mostly for December, are you a farmer if you keep animals? The turkey people raise their turkeys so that they can be slaughtered in December and not November. So if you want a turkey, you have to find a butcher, and then you need to ask him far enough in advance to get a turkey. And so far in my 12 plus years of living outside the US, I have bought exactly 1 turkey. That's because there was only one time that I actually remembered to go to the butcher shop and ask him far enough in advance. And boy, do I have a story for you guys. I have had many turkeys in my life. Burnt turkeys, undercooked turkeys, turkeys that caused a fire because some idiot decided let's fry it up despite the fact that everybody says not to. But one type of turkey I have never had, turkey that I essentially had to give up my firstborn child for. So when we were still living in France, I found this great butcher and I asked him if it would be possible for me to get a turkey in November, and of course it went through this whole thing of, you want a turkey in November? And I had to explain about Thanksgiving, and he said sure, it wouldn't be a problem, just to give him like 3 days notice before I would need the turkey. I gave him an exact date, wasn't a problem. And guys, we went in, we got this turkey, and this turkey was honestly bigger than my children at the time. It was huge. Admittedly, it was like the best turkey I have ever had in my life. This turkey did not come in some plastic wrap filled with water. No, this thing looked like it had recently been killed. Like, it was fresh turkey. It was delicious. But holy crap, when he rung this turkey up and told me the price, I like, oh my god, 80 euros for this turkey. To this day, like 80 euros for a freaking turkey. This guy was in love with us because we spent 80 euros on a turkey, but holy crap, it was so expensive. Oh, but it was so good. It's just best turkey ever. Like, good job to the guys who made the turkey, because I still have pleasant dreams of this turkey. But then, when we got home, we had a problem. And that is, in Europe, appliances are small. In fact, they are so small that this Thanksgiving, we probably won't be doing a turkey because there's no way that we would be able to fit a turkey in our tiny, tiny oven. And in France, the turkey had to do like some special yoga poses to just get in the oven. This isn't a problem that I've ever had in America. Like, I never think when I buy a turkey, will this fit in the oven? Because it's just, our ovens are big. Of course a turkey's gonna fit in there. So you have your turkey and you might be thinking, okay, my Thanksgiving problems are over, except you need dessert. You can't have Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie. It's just, it would not be Thanksgiving. Except Except pumpkin pie isn't a thing in Europe. In fact, when you say pumpkin, Europeans say soup. You don't make soup with pumpkin, that's just weird. You make pie. In my family, while the turkey and all the side dishes were typically homemade from scratch, pumpkin pie is the one thing that we actually just bought pre-made because it was delicious. You really can't screw up pumpkin pie. The only pumpkin pie I ever made in America was still from a can. It was the pumpkin pie filling that you just open and you put it in and then you put it in the oven and let it cook and then pumpkin pie. No one in my family knew how to make pumpkin puree from a pumpkin. And so I had to figure that out on my own. And word to the wise, if you're gonna make pumpkin puree, you don't want to boil the pumpkin, you actually want to bake it to soften it up. I didn't know that for like 3 years, and so my pumpkin pie always came out really, really liquidy. But now I know how to make really good pumpkin pie from scratch, so yay. I know that in Europe people don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but this holiday happens to be my favorite because it's all about getting together with your friends and family, being thankful for the things that you have, and just gorging out on delicious, amazing food. I love it. And each year I try to recreate it, and it's this sort of weird bittersweet thing because it's like Thanksgiving, but then it's sort of not like Thanksgiving. But my question for you is, what is your favorite holiday and why? And what's your favorite treat to eat during your favorite holiday? Because that's the best part, is food. If you love me, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tot ziens, mijn appelziens. In Dutch class, we had this sort of like scavenger hunt where we had to go and discover the city and answer questions about like the buildings and whatnot. And I discovered that people who live in Ypres know nothing about Ypres. Like, I get that because if somebody was to ask me about Pittsburgh, I know nothing.